Welcome guys, Matt here from Trade on Sports, and in this video we're going to be showing you the Tennis Trader Gold application. That's our tennis trading software here at Trade on Sports. So we click on the tennis link and it takes us to the home page. Here we just have some basic information about the weekly tournaments, the surface speed, average tour hold, average tour break, and the start and end date of the tournament. If we click on the next tab, coming up, we have the daily matches all listed in time order. The usual information's here, the competition, players' names, the price of player 1, player 2 from Betfair, and the Trade on Sports unique predicted price at the end of set 1. Very, very useful information, as you will see. Okay, so we've looked at the stats on this page, and we then click on the pre-match stats tab. This gives us a lot more detail about the daily matches. As we can see, again, date, time, competition, type, players' names. Then we go to the ranking section, and we can see their world rank and their unique surface rank, as well as the Trade on Sports total surface rating, which is basically it's a quick class guide, so you can see which player at a glance may have an advantage over the other player. I'd say 120 plus is elite, 110 to 115 solid top 10, 15 to 112 you're solid top 20 player, under 100 you struggle to hit the top 30. From there we move to the volume, and this is the total volume matched on the market so far. So you can see where the money's going throughout the day. We have the Betfair price, which if you hover over, it shows you the graph. That match is in play, hence the ups and downs. If we go to one that's not in play, Koppel Verdasco, you can see what's going on there. So we'll look at Ramos and Pella. Not enough money in that market, very thin at the moment. And from there, we can move over to the Betfair starting price, what we estimate it will be. And the next column is the Trade on Sports model price. This is my model, and what it does is it takes a number of variables, crunches them up, spits out a price at me, which we can then compare to the Betfair price and the Pinnacle opening price to see if there's any value. If we look down, we'll have a look at Koppel Verdasco. We can see that the model makes Koppel the favourite, when in fact he's the dog on the exchange, with Verdasco as favourite. Okay, so order value is there with Koppel, hence the highlight yellow. So the same with Herbert and Ivashka later on in Montpellier. Then if we look at the end of set, I touched on that in the previous screen. Basically, it's the predicted price at the end of set 1 if they win the set by a single break. Now, this is very, very handy, as you can see when the market drives a player potentially too low. How low is he going to go if he wins the set 6-love? I'd say maybe 10, 15 ticks under EOS. So you can define your risk quite clearly there. It's quite unique and a very, very handy trading tool. If we move over to the next columns, which is the 12-month surface stats, we've got the unique Trade on Tennis calculated expected hold. Now this is my calculation as to how a player is going to hold on the surface. If he's highlighted in red, they haven't got a very good serve. I'm expecting a few breaks. Let's just hover over the Betfair price. As you can see, it's been up and down, so there's been a few breaks of serve there. So the model has proved correct. If they're highlighted in blue, that means they've got a strong serve. They perform above the tour mean. The break column is the 12-month surface break percentage. Once again, red and blue is bad and good. So we can see that Madden and Fuchsovics has got above average break percentages, hence why we think the match could be swingy. They're both better on return than they are on serve on this surface over the last 12 months. Then we look at the break points saved and the break points won. Very handy information there, as you can see who performs well in critical moments of the match, who can step up and keep their nerve, so to speak. And you can also see who's performing above average over the yearly sample compared to the tour mean. So you can see if there's going to be any reversion to mean coming. Or on the flip side of that coin, you can see if they've been performing below expectation. So they could well improve. The final column in this section is the 12-month tiebreak win percentage. Once again, we can see handy information as not all players approach tiebreaks equally. As you can see, Medvedev there's strong tiebreak record, and Haas not so good. So if that match goes to a tiebreak and Medvedev's a backable price, you could look at backing him. Even 1 or 2 points down in the tiebreak, you could look at backing him. Different ways to use the information. Okay, if we go back to here, you notice that I missed a column, the head-to-head. Okay, if we click on this, we'll use Haas and Medvedev. It takes us to another screen. Now, this breaks down their statistics into even more detail. It gives you their last 5 matches, last 5 surface for both players, any head-to-head that they've been involved in over the last 3 years, and their match stats, 12-month surface. Once again, everything taken from the pre-tennis odds page, but you haven't got the clutter of all the other matches. You know, it breaks it down just between these two players. So we go back to the pre-tennis odds screen and we continue looking at Haas and Medvedev. We move over to the final section of columns and we click on the star here. Now this gives all the scripts and lead loss stats for the two players involved in this match. Now it gives you possible trading scenarios and suggestions. Gives you the match stats, 18 months, all surfaces. It breaks that down into win percentages, how many times they've won or lost in 2 sets, how many times their match has gone to 3 sets, set 1 win percentage, set 2 win percentage. We break that down further. Set 2 when lost, set 1 win percentage, and set 2 when won, set 1 win percentage. So there we can see who's got a bit of fight in them, who's a strong front runner, etc, etc. You see how the stats are opening the way to approach a tennis match now, trading wise. Very, 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 very useful when used in conjunction with what you're seeing yourself with your own eyes. Again, we move over here and we've got the set 3 win percentage and we break that down again further. Set 3 when lost, set 2, set 3 when won, set 2. Now, if we look at this screen from the top, we've got a lot of data up here. 12-month surface stats, their expected hold, what percentage they're expected to break their opponent, and if they're broken, their break back chance. So basically, that's if a player goes a single break behind, how likely they are to break back. So if Haas is a single break behind over the course of the match, he's expected to break back 41% of the time, which is quite high. Their clutch scores over 18 months, all surface. Obviously, a minus is not very good. And anything in blue is they perform above expectation at the key points of the match. Now, we break this down, as we like to do in Trade on Tennis, into set 1, set 2 and set 3 again. And we've got the win percentage, set 1, over 18 months. First to lead. So, which player potentially goes a break up in their matches early? Yes, we can see Medvedev. He's the first to lead in set 1, 58.5% of the time. There's the first to lead late as well. So if the match has gone to 4-all, say, and we're getting to the meat and bones of the set, the nitty gritty, this is who steps up and breaks late in the set. Very handy information. Break back chance, if the player goes a single break behind in set 1, how likely they are to break back. And serve to stay in the set and serve to win the set. So we can see Haas, if Haas is leading in the set, he serves it out 90% of the time in set 1. Again, set 2, if set 1 is won by Haas, there's all the numbers again, as explained here. Win percentage, first to lead, break back chance, serve to stay in the set, serve to win the set. And the set 2, if set 1 is won by Medvedev stats. Again, there, all highlighted red and blue to see who's strong and who's weak. And here's the set 3 stats. Once again, all nicely broken down for you. Really is an invaluable trading tool. Okay, if we scroll down a bit, we've got all the figures over the last 18 months, all surfaces. It's all pretty self-explanatory there. And you can see that a lot of tennis players are creatures of habit. They repeat the same things over and over and over again. And once you've recognised those patterns, it really makes a massive improvement to your reading of a tennis match and therefore your trading. Okay, where the matches are highlighted in yellow, there's potential scripts. So if we click on Fognini and Badin, say, yes, we look at the stats. The expected hold there is in red. Badin weak, yes, because Fognini is quite strong on return. So the software is suggesting to lay Badin a break up in set 1 and lay Badin a double break up again in set 2 and set 3. So it's basically telling you to take on the weak server. It's just giving you a nudge. But once again, don't do this blind. Watch the match. Read the way the game's flowing and the momentum. You know, would you take Badin off if Fognini is mooching about at the back of the court like he does, shrugging his shoulders, playing like he doesn't care? You know, there's no point in laying him there. So these are just suggestions. We have a look at Pri and Baghdadis. Now that's telling us to take on Pri because his expected hold is below average, but that's only because Baghdadis has got exceptional return over the last 12 months on indoor hard. I'd like to see how Bag is serving first. I mean, if he's landing a lot of first serves, then he's going to compete. If he's not, he's going to get the floor wiped. It doesn't matter if his return game is top notch. He's going to get the floor wiped with him. That's how Baghdadis plays. You need to watch his first serve percentage. Again, the stats are there as a guideline. Don't take them as gospel, but they do help your reading of the match. You've got to use the two in conjunction with each other. If we click on the link there, scripts, that will take us through all the matches of the day. Gulbis and Albot. There's no scripts. It's only the ones that are highlighted yellow. Okay, the ones that aren't highlighted, they don't have a script. But they have all the details and all the statistics there that you may need. And we have a help page as well, which breaks down everything for you. We have a trading room as well, tennis trading room here at Trade on Tennis, and I'm in there most days, sometimes for an hour or so, sometimes for the whole session. All depends on the quality of tennis and whether I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities in the day. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the trading room. And that basically sums up my brief review of the ultimate tennis trading software that we have here at Trade on Tennis and to Trade on Sports. Thanks for listening, guys. Goodbye.